Thank you very much.
So, how's everybody doing? I need a little more energy before we start this thing off. How's everybody doing? Y'all are sitting in the presence of greatness. I'm usually talking about me, Mr. Bobby, but I'm talking about you this time. How you feeling?
I feel great, man. Feel great. And looking at you, young and good looking and from Chicago. And hey, man, you kind of look like me a little. You know, I've been.
Man, I'm hoping to be up and running when I'm your age. You know what I'm saying? What is it, 30 now?
Yeah, 39.
Okay.
39. Don't take one to 39. No, I laugh about that. I got a birthday coming next week on the 10th of November. I'm 91 years old. And I've been here for a little while. I feel good, and let me tell a little story about me so you can. I was born in a little place called Homer, Haynesville, Louisiana. I left my hometown in 1947, went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas with my father, who was a preacher and a pastor of 2 churches.
You started that band?
Yes. And I never sung in the choir, but I did teach Sunday school and went to Sunday school and superintendent of Sunday school, anything for my father in the church. But I never sung in the choir. I never wanted to sing in the choir, never wanted to sing the gospel stuff. I didn't have anything against it, but I wanted to be a blues singer, man.
You want to talk about the big and the small?
I wanted to talk about the little skinny ladies and the big fat ladies. Wait a minute.
It ain't a joke.
Yeah. But I often talk about those kind of things because that's what I want to do and what I wanted to be. Was a blues singer. I knew early in my life, at 6 or 7 years old, I knew what I wanted to be. I didn't know about the money issue and the whole bit. Because the money wasn't what I was thinking about. I was thinking about being popular. So the skinny girls and the big fat girls and good-looking girls and what have you, ugly girls, can say, "Hey, Bobby Rush," and I would say, "Yes." You know?
Okay.
But I wanted to be popular. I knew what I wanted to be, blues singer.
And where does it come from? You know, you said 6, 7 is when you kind of knew what you wanted to do for the rest of your life. Where did that passion come from? Is there a certain person?
I think it's, my dad and my grandfather. My grandfather, who's my dad, he was married twice. He had 18 kids by each one of my grandmother, which were 36 children. And my grandmother had 7 sets of twins back to back. That's 14 children back to back, 7 sets of them.
Bless her heart.
So that's what I said. But I said that because my dad, when I was about 7 or 8 years old, my first cousin, my dad's brother, son, gave me a guitar. He was about 15 years old. I was about 7 or 8. But he had this guitar. He would let nobody play this guitar but me. He only let me play it if some little girl was around him. So my job was to go out and gather up the little girls so they could talk to him while I played his guitar. So when he got about 16 years old, he gave me the guitar. And I hid it, I thought, from my daddy. You, mom and dad know everything. I hid it in a barn. The sun got over to, you got it real hot. The neck bopped on it and whopped on me. So one day I'm named after my dad, I'm a junior. He said, "Junior?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Come here, boy." I come, he said, "Bring that guitar here you got." I didn't know he knew I had a guitar. I brought the guitar and he tuned it up. And he said, "Let me sing a song to you, boy. I used to sing from a little girl when I was a little older than you." Well, my mama's in the kitchen cooking. I thought he gonna sing, "Glory, glory, hallelujah, when I laid my burden down." Either about my mama. But he didn't sing "Glory, glory," about my mama. He went to play the guitar. He said, me and my gal went to Chanky Pin hunting. She fell down and I saw something. I said, my daddy and a preacher. I said, sing it again, Dad. Now, I know the first bird, she fell down, he saw something. I figured in my little mind, the second bird was going to tell me what he saw. My mama said, me don't sing that kind of song to that boy. He went to sing it again. Me and my gal went to Chanky Pin hunting. She fell down and I saw something. My mom was walking up behind. He went to sing it. I said, sing it again, Daddy. I went to get me a pencil and paper because if he couldn't tell me what he saw, I wanted to draw it. I came back and said, Dad, sing it again. He said, me and my gal went to Chanky Pin hunting. My mom was walking up close. I said, Dad, here come Mama. Me and my gal went to Chanky Pin hunting. I said, Dad, here come Mama. I said, Dad, how big was she? He said, 350-pound boy, about that wide. I said, what she had on? He said, nothing but a dress, boy. He said, and the wind was blowing.
Okay. I'm following. Come on, I'm following.
I said, Dad, sing it again. He said, me and my gal went to Chanky Pin hunting. My mother walking up behind by that time. She fell down, and I kept running. So I don't know what it would have been. So you asked me, but that's where I get my dad. He inspired me. And I right then, I want to be a blues singer. I want to sing about the skinny ladies and the fat ladies.
And for you to just have, y'all give a round of applause. 'Cause I like hearing about the skinny ladies and the fat ladies too.
Skinny ladies, that's some funny thing about the skinny lady. If I was singing about this skinny lady in one of my songs, if she turns sideways, you'll think she gone.
Folding thin air. Okay, listen, Mr. Rush. We talked a little bit about Pops. We got a little bit into how you kind of moved around. A lot of people don't know this, but Mom has blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, my mom, my great-grandmother from Jackson, Mississippi, around the Jackson, Mississippi area. I believe it from Carthage, Mississippi. My great-grandmother was a slave with Van Spivey, who was a white man. He had 6 kids by my great-grandmother and 5 kids by his wife in the same house. So when I went to school, my mother was my babysitter. She couldn't be my mother. My daddy was her chauffeur. When we was out, he was her husband. That was his wife who was at home, because my mom, blonde hair and blue eye. That was a racial thing in my family all of my life. I thought in 1951, when I moved to Chicago.
Hold on. We're going to get there. We're going to move there. We're going to move there. Tell me quickly, though, did Mom ever kind of like confide in you, like let you know, like, I know this isn't right, but this is just how things are?
One time, just once, I was about 5 or 6 years old. My brother and I was shooting marbles in the yard, and the ice man came. We didn't have a refrigerator. We had an ice box. He said, Ice man is here. We were little boys shooting marbles. He said, Ice man is here. Anybody want some damn ice? And he really cursed. So my mother came to the door. He said, oh, I'm sorry. So I thought niggas would live here. That's the first time my mother pulled me to the side and said, kind of said, don't say anything, because your dad is in the back. It could be harm for your father. That's the first time that I ever even thought about it, because that was my mom. You know, I never thought about white or black issue with her. That was my mom. That's the first time when I asked me, so I thought, you know, and that's the first time she ever said anything to me about that. And the second time she said something to me, there was my best friend, Robert and Sam, was two white boys and my friend. When we was about 12 or 14 years old, they was coming, the birthday was going to be in September. They were going to be 15. So their father came and got the two boys, the twin boys, Robert and Sam, and myself and my mom. So listen, I want to have a meeting with you boys. Say you can play with Robert and Sam, but they're 15 years old tomorrow. You have to call them Mr. Sam and Mr. Robert now. That hurt my heart because these were my friends. For their father to come tell me they couldn't play with me anymore because now they're 15. I have to issue them a Mr. and Ms. And that hurt my feeling with that. Then my mom had to step in again and say, listen, this is the way it go. I protect you and your father many times. And I didn't know that as a young man, how my father was been protected by my mother.
Wow, to say the least, man. And this recollection that you have is uncanny. Like 91 years old, can still remember things from his childhood. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah, y'all can give a round of applause. Y'all can give a round of applause.
You know, I'm gonna tell you that a story that I never said this on interview yet. How that came about me remembering well, I think it had something to do with when I was about 8 or 9 years old, could have been 10. My father told me, said, Junior, I'm named after my father. He said, you seem to be the aptest child that I have, but I need you to come out of school and help me work in the cotton fields so I can send the rest of my kids to school because they need it better than you do. I felt proud because I thought, didn't know that was a hinder to my education work.
To your growth.
So he put me in a gin to work for $3.75 a week, 6 days a week. My job was to go into the gin and get information from the white guys around the gin. At that time, they were like the Dow Jones, and black people as a whole didn't even know what Dow Jones was. They would talk about what they were going to sell, how much the cotton was going to sell, the green grains and peas, okra, watermelon, whatever they were selling. The up, the down. And I have some sand in my pocket and a rag in the other pocket. And I would throw it around their shoes and wipe their shoes off so I could hear the information as they talk around the table. I would go home in the afternoon. My daddy was a preacher. Church on the Sunday morning was at 9:30. He would gather everybody around at 8:30 and tell all the black peoples in the neighborhood what to sell and not to sell from the information that I got from the round table. And I have to remember that, everything they said to relate it to my father so that black people know what to sell and what not to sell from my information. And from that time to this time, I have 439 records. God have blessed me. I can't sing 439 tonight, but I can sing 375 of them.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, y'all give a round of applause, man. Y'all, look. Give me your best 10.
75 years ago, I said, in a little shack down by the bay, not far from New Orleans, I met this pretty woman down there when I was about 19. She went and told her daddy she wanted to marry me, and the look on her daddy's face really was a sight to see. He said, get out of here with you, and don't you come back no more. Well, I wanted to meet her daddy like a young man oughta. He didn't want no blues singer like Bobby Ray to get married to his daughter. When I went by the house that day, he met me at the door. Dad, Mom, Big Brother John, and the dog named Bo, saying, get out of here, and don't you come back no more. Well, her brothers and sisters took the dogs on me and made them tear up all my clothes. I was running fast trying to get away down the dusty road. I was running fast trying to get away across the railroad track. I could hear the kids throwing rocks at me every time I stopped to look back, saying, get out of here, and don't you come back no more. When I sneaked down to get married, judge to do the solemn swear to take this woman for your lawful wife and not a one-night love affair. Before I could open my mouth to say I do, guess who walked through the door? Dad, Mom, Big Brother John, the damn dog named Bo. So you can get out of here and don't you come back no more. What I thought to myself, if I wanted to get married, had to find a way to elope. I decided to go to Las Vegas to get away from her nosy folk. Soon as I got to Las Vegas, that same day I walked in, that was all her kin, that damn dog again. Now, I said to thank you. I said that I can recite you 300 songs like that.
Give me.
Now, because that's what the rappers, see what I just said? The rappers been stealing, they stole
Your flow.
They stole my flow. Me and James Brown were the first rappers. If it went for me, it wouldn't be no 50 cent, be a dime a quarter, something like that.
Okay.
She looked at me like, look at me.
Look.
You don't know about the rap? Well, fish get it, hip bit of hopper girl, up I go, y'all, to the treetop, whirly, round and round, I found a good woman, I got found, don't you hold back the feel of mama, how you feel, unsnap your brow, that it is.
I'm talking about.
I had to sit up and say that, but I'm just so thankful that God has given me the mind to remember well. Let me tell you that another thing. I'm a blues singer, but I'm a biblical study. I'm not a religion nut. I had a drink in 1957, myself and Muddy Water. Got drunk too. 3 beers.
What were y'all drinking back then in 1957?
It was Schlitz. You know, same time it's a little slushy beer. This is 99-cent beer. You never heard of this, Jim. Now they call it black beer. Out of Milwaukee. They would make it there in Milwaukee. Yeah, Schlitz made it. Yeah.
You are, man, you a walking time machine, man. So I may have seen the logo or so, but I've never, like, to hear you actually say it is just, look, before we dive in and go a little bit deeper, because I want to talk about the moves, I want to talk about the 5 Jivers and Bobby Rush. Name them 10 songs for me, man. Which ones are your favorite?
The one that made most money. I guess, I do have favorites, but I guess Chicken Head was my first gold record. But that was a song that I was crazy about. Well, 2 songs, rather. Was the first song I was in love with because I wrote it, maybe, called Make a Decision. Making a decision sometimes sure can be hard. Making a decision sometimes is different when you got kids involved. Making a decision about an old woman cry. It's different when your own mama cry. Because kissing and canning hurts don't cry, don't make a grown woman smile. Oh, Lord, help me make a right decision. Making a decision about a rabbit that sits on the log. What's fun to a 5-year-old boy could be death for a toad frog. Well, Lord, help me make the right decision. I like them kind of songs, you know.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You better chill out because I'm low-key flowing with you. Every time you hit it, I'm
Yeah. But, you know, I like things make sense to me about where I've been, where I'm going, what I'm trying to do. Because last year, I recorded on a record that was got to be, one of the songs was number 1 on about 8, 9 radios. But the song was talking about, we come a long way, but I got a long way to go. The things I used to do in Louisiana, I don't do anymore. I used to carry water 15 miles for 50 cents a day. It's a shame a boy 9 years old had to work that way every day. I used to pick cotton in the cotton field where I used to live. Now, it's all right to pick cotton if you own the field. Look at me. I'm free, can't you see? I got the shackles off my feet and the chains off my mind.
I just feel so honored. Like, I don't know why. I'm so happy God blessed me with this opportunity to talk to you. Every time you say something, I got to pause and just stop for a little bit. But we spoke a little bit about pay. Yeah. So that pay increases when you get to Beale Street. But also that pay increases in 1947 when we go to Arkansas. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about these experiences. Go all the way up into St. Louis before you get to Chicago.
I wanted to go to Chicago so bad because Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, B.B. King, DeRay Charles, John Lee Hooker, Jimmy Reed, Smokey Hall, all these guys that I had met in the early 50s 49 and 50. Said, you got to get out of Arkansas, Mississippi, and come to Chicago where you can be free, boy. And I said, man, I got to go be free. So I didn't have enough money to get myself free. Because being free to me was like going to Chicago. I needed $8.75 to get a ticket to Chicago. So I didn't have enough money to buy myself a ticket to Chicago. So I bought me a ticket to Memphis, Tennessee, where B.B. King was working on WDIA and on Beale Street. Sonny Williams was in Helena, Arkansas. He was also working in Memphis. And Rufus Thomas. I worked on the street for $3.50 a week till I got enough money to go to East St. Louis where Chuck Berry and Albert King were. Chuck Berry was living in East St. Louis, and Albert King was in Lovejoy, Illinois. He and Red Fox. So I wanted to go there real bad. So when I got to Chicago, Muddy Waters, J.B. Lenoir, Jimmy Reed, and Little Walton, taking me to suburb of Chicago, Blue Island, got me a job. Got me a job with the stage about this high, the bar, and a little small club, all white audience.
You had to play behind the curtains, correct?
And they built the curtain. They built the curtain for me so I could play behind the curtain. I thought I was some kind of super cat because they building a curtain for me, not knowing they were building a curtain for me to play behind the curtain. They built the curtain so the audience wouldn't see me, but they could hear my music. I was devastated. I was devastated. Then I went to Chess Records to get me a job, and I was setting that Chess record in 1951 to get me a job. Bo Diddley, myself, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Johnny Hooker, Jimmy Reed, we all was sitting there. Muddy Waters was already recorded for the Chess Brothers. So there was a pamphlet on the table, a handful of pamphlets looking more like what you're reading there, and it says the union was merging 10 and 208. And I said, wow, this is gonna be good, because it wasn't black and white issue then, it was us colored guys. I said, this is gonna be good for the colored men's. And Bo Diddley laughed. I thought he was laughing at me because I'm from the southern state, wasn't speaking as well as they were speaking from the northern cat. And I found out later that I shouldn't be reading in the front of the white guys. So I read it again. So Bo Diddley laughed. By that time, one of the brothers came out, Phil came out and said, what you guys laughing at? And Bo Diddley said, Bobby Ray said, the union is merging. By that time, the other brother came out, Phil and his brother came out, said, what y'all laughing about? Bobby Ray said, the union is merging. He took the paper and threw it to me and said, what that say, boy? Talking to me. And I read it to him. He turned it to his brother. We can't use that nigga because he can read. So I didn't get the job. Muddy Water got the job. Howlin' Wolf got the job. All of them got the job. But I recorded at Chess, but I never worked for Chess.
So your intelligence halted
Yes.
them wanting to sign you and put you on.
They didn't never sign me, but I got blessed. I got blessed as a man called Al Capone. I didn't know Al Capone, but Al Capone had a brother named Caesar Capone. And he hired me to work on Rush Street downtown in Chicago. I was one of the first black men who worked there, the second black man to work in the Playboy. So they hired me as a band leader to work there. And he sat in a place one day, he said, this before, he said, Bobby Rush, I want to hire you. We're talking about Al Capone brother. He said, I want to hire you in Sammy Davis Jr.
That's how he talked.
Yeah, had a big cigar in his house.
Them Italians back then
Yeah.
with the big mob suits.
Bobby Rush, you and Sammy Davis Jr., Red Fox, Come on in, boy. He was sitting talking to me like, he said, I give you $7.50 a night, $15 a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But you gotta make me laugh.
Big puff. Big puff.
Yeah. I said, I can make you laugh. He was sitting there by himself. I stood up. I said, Mr. Pone. I said, I was in Chicago about 40, 50 years. Now, I had just been there for a few months, but he knows I'm lying about this now. I was in Chicago about 50 years, and two of my friends, Sam and Abram, they were in Chicago too, and they went back down to Jackson, Mississippi. One saw the other one and said, hey, Sam, so where you been? You in Chicago? He said, I've been in Chicago too. I just moved back to Jackson, Mississippi. He said, I did too. I've been here 3 weeks. He said, I've been here 3 months. He said, how you feel? Feel pretty good. I'm 83 years old. He said, I'm 89. I feel pretty good. I just have a little problem with my bowels. It don't move right. Okay. He said, mine move good. Every morning at 6 o'clock, boom, right on. He said, what the hell so good about it? I don't get up to 10. And I made him laugh. That's how the Capone hired me.
Talk to me, because we spoke a little earlier. I'm from Chicago, so I grew up in this beautiful city of concrete.
What making me laugh, boy?
But so how was Chicago back in the 50s? Because I told my grandmother I was going to be interviewing you. I mean, she lit up. She said, I used to watch him all the time in the 60s. Yeah. I said, well, I got something for you. Talk to me about how Chicago was back then.
It was rough, but I'll tell you what, since you're speaking about what it was like then, if you were talented, had a way to maneuver around the workforce, you could get a job. I didn't say you could make money, you get a job. If you got the job, then you have to find out how to make money with the job. My thing was if I got into the club, I was good enough to get into the club, but I was so slick and smart in what I did and did it so well, I could get paid for what I was doing after I was in the club with my tips. And I also had a hot dog wagon. I was in the club, but I had a hot dog wagon sitting outside the club, selling hot dog for 25 cents. And I would get one and tell everybody, these are the best hot dog in the world. You got to hear him. This guy got the best hot dog out there. I don't know who's selling them, but who made it? But y'all try. And I was convinced everybody about hot dog. They didn't know they were buying it from me. It was my hot dog wagon. So I was making $3 playing that night, and I was making about $10 selling hot dogs. That's the chitlin circuit, man.
So that's where the chitlin circuit comes from. I had a whole introduction for you. We can go 12-time Blues Music Award, Blues Hall of Famer, Mississippi Musicians Hall of Fame, Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame, 3-time Grammy Award winner, and last but not least, the king of the chitlin circuit.
That me?
That's you. Plus some. I missed a little bit.
But everybody talked about the chitlin circuit. But let me tell you.
What is it?
The chitlin circuit at the time it's got this name from people in the club was working free for the food, and they were selling chitlins, hog intestine. That's where the chitlin circuit come from. Then when the white guys started writing about it, they started writing about it, the juke joint. Juke joint had nothing to do with the chillin'. Chillin' was what they fed you. I was so good, the man would give me 3 hamburgers, 3 hot dogs, and 3 bowls of chillin'. I would sell each one of them for 25 cents, eat 1 hot dog and sell the other. I wouldn't give them $4 a night. Now I'm making $4, that's $8 a night. Man, 3 nights like that, 4 nights, that's $32. I can count now, That's that's $8 times 4. You count it up. That was a lot of money back in the day.
That's why I'm sitting here hearing you say like $8, $7, $5. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, Mr. Rush, I can't even get some candy at the stove.
But I had Muddy Waters to come down on a Wednesday night and play Argo, Illinois. We had the Cotton Club out there. And every Wednesday night, the man was getting me $15 a night. I would pay Muddy Waters $5.50 a night.
What would that transfer to today? $15.
Everything gas was on 12, 15 cents a gallon. Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, that was what I was paying, 12, 15 cents a gallon. Yeah.
So how much would $7, $3, like how much would your income probably be today?
Well, see, at that time, $7, I could get a band $1.50 a piece for $2, and we have a hotel room for $3.50. Most of the little boogie joint hotel we had, $5 a hotel a night. Put a mattress out there, sleep on the floor and sleep in the bed. Two on the floor and two on the bed. Hey,
get it grooving.
And get it grooving. Now that wasn't a lot of money, but you could get by with a lot of things. When you're speaking about me as a man, as a musician, as a black man, so many things have changed, but so many things remain the same.
Talk to me about some of those.
The price of food, price of gas. At that time, you couldn't go into hotels as a black man to live unless you was a big liar. And I was like a politician. I could lie a lot. I went to Cleveland, Mississippi from Chicago. I believe it was the first Holiday Inn that I knew of was in Jackson, Mississippi, is in Cleveland, Mississippi. There was a sheriff, Mr. Henderson, and I would go talk to him. For whatever reason, I had to talk to him, got to know who he was. And I would go to him in the daytime. He gets off work about 4 o'clock. And I know he would leave at 4 o'clock. I would call, they had the big phone booths outside the hotel. I would go on the phone booths and dial the Holiday Inn, and I changed my name like I'm Mr. Rapp. I said, my name is Chef Rapp, and I'm sending this guy, a little long hair guy, a little skinny guy, Bobby Rush is the name, and just let him in the room, and I'll take care of it when I get there. So I would go and knock on the door, do. My name is Bobby Rush. The sheriff sent me out here to get the room. Oh, yeah, come on in. And I get the room. I know he get back to work at 8 o'clock the next morning, so I get up at 6 o'clock and leave the hotel and leave it on the shaft.
Be gone.
Be gone, before he come and...
Hey, that's smooth. That is a political move. It's election day. That's a real political move. Look, take the blanket from underneath you right before you lay down.
Yeah, but we didn't have no place we could go and stay in the hotel, and a lot of times we couldn't eat in certain restaurant. I couldn't drink in certain water fountain, as the white guys did.
That has to be frustrating, right? Like you are rocking shows, you entertaining all these different kinds of people, but you can't eat at a certain restaurant because you're black. Talk to me about just your mindset with that.
What I was saying earlier, how things have changed, but so many things remain the same. You can eat pretty much where you want to eat if you got the money to buy what you need to eat. You can pretty much stay where you want to stay now. But when the rent is $5,000 a month, that's telling you that you don't make enough money to be there. So that's always a fine line to tell you you're not welcome, because you don't have the money to be there. If you got the money to be there, it's a different story. But so many things. I don't want to get into politics stuff because this is not about politics business, but politics is part of all our lives. And the days, out of all the days that I talk to anyone about an interview, today is a day very important to me because I'm this black man whose my vote matters, but our blackness matters also, but my vote matters more. Because today is a day that I exercise my vote. And I went vote first. and I encourage everyone to vote. That's what I've been doing most of the day, out trying to encourage people to go out and vote, because our vote counts, and it does matter.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but did you kind of get to live through like not being able to kind of vote?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And we still have some monkey wrenches thrown in, because there's some places in time that we find ourselves or someone don't know how to get to a place to vote, because there's some people I was talking to a few days ago. So they from Jackson, Mississippi, but they now live in Alabama. They can't live in Alabama and live in Alabama and vote in Mississippi, or live in Mississippi and vote in Alabama. So if they just move, the problem is you got to find a way to switch over. And a lot of people just move to a certain state and they switch over. They don't know they can't vote because they haven't had time to switch it over. And it's just a terrible. Well, I didn't plan to get into them.
Yeah, no. Look, we ain't got to get into politics. I'm happy that you said that, though, because I believe that it's important to vote as well, especially being a black man in the state that the world is in right now.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you even just talking about it a little bit and mentioning it. I want to dive back into some of these big names that you've mentioned alongside yourself, Muddy Waters, etc. Who was your favorite to work with, and why? Also, tell me who was the one you didn't like to work with for real, and why?
You know what? I didn't have. I think James Brown the one. No, I'm see. I had three guys: James Brown, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and I think that's the only one that ever fired me.
Chuck or who?
Chuck Berry fired me first. I went to Paris in 1969 with Chuck Berry. Big tour. Said Chuck Berry and Bobby Rush. Oh, I was glad to be on that package. Because that man, that's sending me up. Oh, man, I had my chest way out. And we worked the day for about 3 or 4 days. I'm a workaholic. I'm up trying to make a name for myself. And I worked so hard, the paper came out, said Bobby Rush and Chuck Berry. And Chuck Berry quit. I mean, he fired me. We had 81 days. We had worked 75 days to go. They worked a few days. He quit.
What went into him stopping?
Because it said Bobby Rush and Chuck Berry. The newspaper come out and said Bobby Rush and Chuck Berry.
Oh, because Bobby Rush was first. He got a little.
Now I'm like the headliner. So he fired me. Teddy Pendergrass did me the same way.
Teddy Pendergrass?
Teddy Pendergrass, when he closed the door up. 1979, 1975 or 79. Me and Teddy Pendergrass was my drummer, you know.
Love
Teddy
TKO?
Yeah. So we were good friends. So my rhythm session, he put his band around my rhythm session. So we went on this tour. And man, I'm up on the stage, man, I'm stumping. Man, I'm getting into it, man. I'm jumping all around. About 4 days into these 80-something days, his manager came to him and said, Bobby Rush, we got some good news and some bad news. I said, well, man, give me the good news. Good news is all your money for your 80-something days. I said, oh, I'm proud of this. He said, but next, we don't need you no more. And I said, why? He said, man, you work me too hard. You know, because I'm a killer, you know. Man, I'm good at what I do. Man, I'm a killer, man, I'm a killer. That's it. And he got rid of me.
Have you spoken to him? Like, did y'all speak after this?
Oh, yeah. But he was business. He said, man, I didn't know. So now I'm going out. I got some thing with Elton John. I'm doing something with Buddy Guy.
Elton John?
Yeah.
Why you just saying these names like it's just nothing? Like, you just rolling off. This is crazy. Continue. I'm sorry.
But then I guess they with Buddy Guy, and I'm doing a lot of dates now with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. But I'm easy now. I just want to get on the stage, do me 15 or 20 minutes, and go home. And I really go home. You know, now I'm gonna get fired because I ain't gonna do nothing to get fired.
You ain't trying to do too much.
No, you know, that's about it. I don't want to get fired here tonight. So let me run over in this interview. You know, I don't want you to fire me.
Look, the way my mouth would be dropped right now if we didn't have this crowd here, because the memories, you talking about Paris, you talking about Elton John, you talking about Teddy Pendergrass, you talking about all the, and you still got it.
I'm inspired by so many people in my life. I guess when I look back at B.B. King 1 year before he passed, he come to me and asked me, said, Bobby Rush, I need a favor from you. And B.B. so kind. I said, what did you want, B? He said, I need you to come to Indianola, Mississippi with me in June the 12th. I said, I'm already booked. He said, can you get out of it? I said, I don't know. Let me talk to the man. So a guy had booked me to headline me in Memphis, Tennessee. Myself, Bobby Bland was on the show with me, and I think Little Richard, a bunch of people was on the show. But they had me headlining it because Memphis, you know, Ain't Study was like the #1 record up in that era. So I went to the promoter. I said, listen, his name is Little D. So Little D, I got this problem, man. I need to do something for B.B. King. It's on the same date you had your date, but I got to do it at 11 o'clock at night. You got me up here at 11 o'clock at night in Memphis. He said, what time do you want you? I said, 11 o'clock. He said, well, you my headliner, but the show starts at 4 o'clock, If you can go on at 5 o'clock, you can still do your show. Now, won't nobody be here, but at least I won't lie to my public. I said, you'll do that? Because I had the deposit he had gave me to give it back to him. He pushed it back to him and said, here's all your deposit back. In fact, here all your money. Go up there at 4 o'clock and do your show, and you go do this for BB. And I couldn't believe he let me did this for BB. So BB told me that was going to be his last show he going to do in Mississippi. I thought that going to be the last show in Mississippi. I didn't know that going to be the last show he do, period. So I did the show for BB. And I went 8 months later, BB passed. And the man who preached the funeral invited me to sing a song at his funeral, the last man to sing the funeral, of the last man on the show. And he also asked me to get in the front of the hearse. I was the first man in the front of the hearse, lead him back to Mississippi. That's passing the torch to me. I didn't realize it all. Those are touching situations with me. How God have put me in a place where people respect me and do this for me. Another situation, Muddy Waters, was so crazy about me. When he was 28 years old man, I forgot to go to his birthday party he invited me to. He was 28 years old, and I'm like 17, 18. I forgot to go to his birthday party. So I had got married early, my first marriage, and she said to me, I thought you was going to Muddy Water birthday party. I said, oh, it's 10:30, I forgot it. I get in my car, go around to the party where he was having his party in Chicago, and he looking out the window, he said, Bobby Rush, you late for my party. Come on around to the back, I got a lot of ladies up here. I went around to the back, he showed had a lot of ladies. All the ladies were sitting up there in the bar with the dress up to here, and you could see everything but Chicago River. And I said, and he introduced me, this is my little brother. All the ladies was kissing on me. I like that. Brother, get the brother thing coming. The lady was kissing all over me because I'm Muddy Waters' brother. He introduced me as brother. I said, how old are you? The lady said, I'm 26. One lady said, I'm 34. Lady was 36 years old. Old lady. I left them because they were too old. How stupid could I be? The lady said she was 26 and 36 years old. I wish I could have another birthday party like that.
I'm about to say, man,
Well,
you're not into the Cougars, man. You're not
No,
into.
but I thought that was old then. Because Muddy Waters, he was about 28, 29. That was old. I thought.
Dog.
But you know, I got to tell you this. This wasn't in the picture of this. This for the audience now.
Uh-oh.
Somebody asked me, said, Bobby Rush, why do you sing the blues? Is it because your woman left you? Yes. You can have the blues when your woman leave you, but you can also have the blues if they stay too long. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Come on now.
Have you ever been mistreated by someone you showed enough love? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you really love? But all that me and my woman could have left me for. She left me for the garbage man. No matter how bad she treated me, still can't get out my mind. No matter how bad she treated me, still can't get out my mind. Every time I see a garbage can, I think about her and the garbage man all the time. If I ever get her to come back home, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back home, I'll buy myself a garbage truck. And when my garbage can't get full, I'm talking about real full, I'm gonna take it and dump that stuff way out in the woods. That's the blues for you.
Y'all give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you so much. I want to let you know that wherever I go, I always tell the story of the blues. Because the blues is the mother of all the music. It's the root of all the music. And if you don't like the blues, you probably don't like your mama.
Man, this has been amazing for me.
Thank you.
If I can't even say so myself, I just got a Grammy Award winning performance. I'm sitting front row seat, man. I feel like I should be paying you for this. Quickly.
Well, that pay thing. Keep
oh
that
yeah,
in.
hold on. Let me I know you about your money, but hold on. Quickly.
Let me say before I get too far this, I'm so fired up about you doing this as a man, as a black man, and I'm from Chicago. You from an era and a time that have most people forgotten. But you need to know, in your position, which you probably already know that, It's not too many men in this world in your position get a chance to do what you're doing with me in my age and time. Let me tell you why. You don't have to be smart to figure this out. It ain't too many guys around who 91 years old is doing what I'm doing. I'm not saying from a bragger situation.
That's the truth.
I'm so thankful to be able to do this and be able to talk to you from where you come from as a man and as a person who can understand me personally, not just because she's a black man, because you live the life that I live, because inside of me is inside of you, and we can relate it to the people who listen and watching what we do. And my thing is now to do all I can, why I can. When it comes a time I cannot do, that I won't regret what I did not do.
Wisdom, man. In words of the wise, before I let you go, who is Nikki Hookie?
Now he asked me about Nikki Pookie. It was a girl I was writing about, a bow-legged woman. And I couldn't talk about what she looked about inside of the song, but I have to give you a little outside rim of it. I'm trying to put this in perspective where it won't fall back on me later. But I was watching this lady walk, and she was bow-legged. Mm-hmm. That means she was catching air.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, all right. I need my guitar here.
I know you trying. Look, I know you. I see you trying to find it, man. I see you trying to find it.
That's why I want to do this interview with you. You pulled too much out of me, man.
I was gonna say, talk to me about the dancing girls too, but we on this right now. Come on, yeah. What you mean by that? What that air do?
Yes, I do. A bow-legged woman and a knock-kneed man go hand in hand.
Okay.
And I thought about that. I said, look at that girl sitting over there with the black dress on. I said, turn her loose. Let her turn me on. Because she and I go hand in hand. She's a bow-legged woman. I'm a knock-kneed man. I said, chicken in the car and the car won't go. That's the way you spell Chicago. A knife and a fork and a plate of green, that's the way you spell New Orleans. Then I talk about, see that other girl over there? Sitting like this? Catching air. I write, if you notice, I got 400 some odd songs. And I wrote all this stuff. I was writing a song about, I went to the casino one night, and I was supposed to be at work. And I called my lady up. I said, listen, baby, I want to go someplace. I had wanted a little money. You know how when men get sometimes, I'll talk to you about this. How when men get,
I'm locked in. What's
you don't want your woman to know everything you got in your pocket.
You feel me?
So I called her up about 3:30. I said, baby, it's 3:30. Let's go someplace. She said, go somewhere with what? What? You got no money? You didn't have no money when you left home? She didn't know I'd been to the casino because she thought I was at work. I'm a lot like a politician. So I wasn't at work, but I won this money. When I walked in the door, I said, I've been working all day. It's time to get a break. You and I need to go somewhere so we can play. I'm going somewhere, baby, out in the park. Do this, do that, out in the dark. And where I'm going, You don't have to pack much. All you need to bring, the G-string and the toothbrush. I know a little place, Highway 51. We can go down there, have a whole lot of fun. We can sit in the car, listen to the radio, crawl in the back seat and make love, let your feet hang out the door. And where I'm going, you don't have to pack very much. All you need to bring your G-string and the toothbrush. No, I'm gonna let that alone. Before I leave, I want to thank you for letting me have fun with you. You do a fine interview. And you pull stuff out of me that, man, you just like a, what they call them, vacuum. That suck all everything out of me.
Like a safe vac, safe vac, something like that. Listen, it is, man, I want to hug you. It has been a pleasure talking to you, man.
This has been the best night. Let me tell you, so y'all know. Before we got into the interview, I was sitting back there, just kind of cooling out. He said, I'm going to get me something to eat. I wish I hadn't ate because I would have ate with him, you know. But that meant so much to me for you to come back to speak. And then you from Chicago, just down to earth. You don't have to, this interview here, this is it. This is it. This is it. And I leave you tonight saying this. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for what you're doing, what you plan to do. Because what you say about me is what people perceive me to be. Thank you for your kind words.
Man, thank you so much for everything. Bobby, real quick, before you go, how much longer are you going to keep entertaining?
Oh, about another 55 years.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Rush, man.
I want to, for William, who asked me to come, oh, they're ready. I'm going to leave this with you. Thank you.